This is Anime Out of Context, a comedy review podcast hosted by a weeb of the highest order, alongside a cynical man who knows nothing about anime. Our show features spoilers, explicit language, and poor fact-checking. Neither of our hosts are experts on any topic, and none of their opinions should be taken as fact. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I try to avoid catching Shaun's Plague of the Weebs.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
And you heard it correctly, I'm still dying.
Hopefully this will be the last bit that they hear of you sick.
I hope so, because it's the last I want to be sick. I don't want to ever be sick again. I would rather just drop dead spontaneously than have to deal with this crappy-ass illness.
Yeah, we'll see how long that goes. But you know, Shaun, don't worry. I feel like we'll be even. You're sick right now. We're watching anime, which makes me sick generally. So, you know.
I hope I give you my cold because of this run. Because then we can do another sports anime episode.
Oh, no.
Because that's been the running thing when you're sick.
I hate sports anime.
I know you do, but we've only seen two, and one of them kind of barely qualifies.
Not good.
There are plenty of good sports anime out there, and I do have some in the works. It's just a matter of whether or not I want to keep the sick Rem thing a running gag.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, but what are we doing this week, Shaun?
Well, Remington, I figured I would do something, well, easy on me again, because I am under the weather, as you might imagine.
I'm not sure if I trust that. Last week was easy on you, but I'm worried that this week, to contrast things, you'll do something else easy on you, and it'll be more bullshit shonen because you're shonen trash.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Rem, if I do shonen trash and you tear it apart, that will just aggravate me more, and I'll stay sick longer.
Fair enough.
So clearly I can't do that option. So instead, I'm going to do something that's kind of wholesome, kind of cute, and honestly, just fun.
I'll take another wholesome, cute, fun anime. It worked great last week with K-On! Hopefully it'll work great with this week.
Yeah, this time around I'm doing something a bit newer, quite frankly. Rem, I don't know what, I want to know something deeply personal about you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, what was elementary school like for you?
Elementary school for me, I was wildly emotional. I was a bit of a teacher's pet most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. I would say that I probably had an above average elementary school experience. I had a lot of friends. School went real well for me. Overall, it would be a thumbs up.
Okay. So, you know, did you ever have any issues with teasing in your school?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I've definitely been teased all of my life. And I was young. I'm very sure that I teased others as well, because kids are assholes. And even if you can't remember it, chances are you were an asshole a little bit too. So like 5-year-old to 9-year-old me, probably an asshole, and he was teased relentlessly as well.
Yes. And would you say that continued into middle school a little bit? Or was that
easily. Yeah, no, if anything, it increased.
Well, Remington, what show we're going to be talking about today covers that exact topic, but with a bit more of a cutesy, wholesome flair to it.
But of course.
Because
that cute anime that deals with bullying ever since elementary school, A Silent Voice.
Okay, hey now. Hey now. I'm not talking deep, emotionally impactful bullying. I'm talking about, you know, just teasing, because you know the old additive, if someone makes fun of you a lot, it means they like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how, like, 50% of the time that's complete bullshit, though?
I mean, we sort of have to believe in it, because otherwise, then we must hate each other, because we give each other so much shit.
That is a very good point.
So we have to.
Either that, or we're in the most toxic relationship.
I mean, I know I am.
But the show that we're going to be talking about today is simply known as Karakai Jōzu no Takagi-san.
Oh, but of course.
Which translates to Teasing Master Takagi-san.
Okay.
And
is this just going to be like, I want this to be a wacky elementary school teacher who everyone just loves and plays a bunch of crazy pranks on the students, especially like in a Nichijouian type fashion, very slapstick, no, fuck fuck plot. Just craziness. Just antics.
You know, I would watch that anime.
Yeah, I mean, law of numerous anime, something similar has to exist somewhere.
Especially if it meant that there were that nobody had a crush on the teacher. That would be great.
Is there a crush on the teacher in this anime?
No, the teacher is hardly relevant in this anime.
All right, cool. So it's students then.
It is, because what this anime is, Remington, is it's just what it sounds like. It's a anime about these two kids who like to tease each other, but one is really, really good and proficient at it, and the other one is usually the subject of teasing, and he really wants to get revenge on her by teasing her back, but is really not great at it.
Ah, okay.
So in a way, this is kind of a cute little coming-of-age teasing story, where our main character tries multiple ways to tease or get Takagi in trouble.
Shaun, do you know that trend that happened about a decade ago in Western cartoons, where a lot of times they would make a spin-off cartoon that was just whatever it is, but babies?
Yes.
You remember that?
That's still very much a thing, by the way.
Oh, perfect. Well, I feel like this is the equivalent, but like take Love is War and childify it.
You know what? You're not too far off, actually. But less...
But hopefully also good.
Okay, hey. Hold on.
I was being optimistic, Shaun.
You're being optimistic by hurting one of my favorite shows of the year. That's fine. That's not like you haven't done it before, you piece of shit. You're just lucky that I am operating at like 75%, or else I would have blown up on you. I would have brought in the fury of Chica down on your ass, and you would have had to Chica, get the fuck out of here.
All right, but back to the point. So we have these two kids teasing.
Yes, and that's what the show is. It's a cute little friendship, minor romance story between Nishitaka and Takagi. Takagi likes to tease him on just a daily basis relentlessly, and she's really good at it. And is kind of like a psychology major in the way that she predicts how he's going to react like 9 times out of 10, and just wants to see him freak out in a variety of ways, you know, as kids do. Of course, being a young, impressionable lad, this can be the most irritating thing on the face of the planet because you don't quite understand the difference between liking someone and, you know, just wanting to get back at your friend type of thing.
Yeah, of course.
And so we're mostly in his head trying to figure out his plan through really simple childish pranks that don't really have an impact on anything except the two of them individually and how they react. Things like making ridiculous faces in order to get them to laugh and disrupt class a bit, or maybe writing someone's name on an eraser to try and get them to think, oh, maybe this person has a crush on that person, and try and find out what's on it, but you reveal the eraser and it actually says, haha, thought you would look at this, you know, things like that. So it's got that little Death Note-ian mind games effect to it, or the Love is War romance battle thing, but without as much of the mean-spiritedness of Love is War, which I wouldn't say Love is War is mean-spirited, but sometimes some of the games can turn out that way. Whereas this one is just like cute kids teasing each other.
All right, I'll take cute kids teasing each other. That sounds like something that I might enjoy.
Honestly, it's a really cute anime. It came out relatively recently, end of last year, 2018.
Oh, okay.
Or rather, excuse me, beginning of last year, winter 2018. You know, winter, it bookends either thing. When they say winter in anime, it's the beginning of the year.
Okay.
I watched it. I thought it was fun. It was cute. It was easy. And I figured, Rem, you might find some enjoyment out of it. And it actually recently got a second season as well. So apparently enough people enjoyed it to get to that point as well.
All right. And there's no like stupid secrets that you're hiding. Like, yeah, they're both 8, but also they're both just in lingerie the whole time. Or yeah, they're both young children, but they're also sensual monsters in a terrible elementary school.
No, Remington, that's your childhood.
Oh, now I remember.
Yeah. That's what you get for founding Dracula United, right?
It was a great inspiration for Dracula United.
Yeah, your poor, horrible, monstrous upbringing. But no, Rem, this is another really straightforward, simple show. There's not a whole lot to explain. You're not gonna get any of that anime fan trying to explain what this show's about, dysmorphia going for. Because, you know, that's what our show is I try to explain what's gonna happen, what you're gonna see, what you're gonna experience. But with this, it's just kind of a lighthearted comedy comedy show that does no harm in any regards and is just kind of fun and cute. And I've read the manga to completion, and there is a after story type of manga that's really cute as well, which is, honestly, we need more cute, wholesome stuff in our lives, and this is just one of them.
I mean, fuck it. I'll take 2 cute, wholesome things week after week.
Yeah. Whether or not you like this show, Rem, that'll be up to you. Me, personally, I think it's okay and it's cute and it's fine. You're probably gonna have the exact same opinion, let's be real. Again, I'm throwing you a softball here because, well, actually, softballs are quite large and quite hard. I'm throwing you a low ball. That's a sport thing, isn't it?
I like Sick Shaun. Sick Shaun is far more lenient. He can't put in the work to hurt me as much.
Yeah, because honestly, that's too much effort to be allowed. And surprisingly, we haven't really gotten any recommendations for this show in particular. But I have seen people talking about it several times on our Discord, so maybe they just forgot that it was actually a show worth watching.
Oh, but of course, 0 recommendations. That always makes me feel optimistic.
Nah, well, on Mal it actually got about a 7.89.
Ooh, okay, actually quite high.
Yeah, no, most people just found this to be a really fun, adorable show. And the one thing I will say that kind of is a bit odd.
Oh, here we go.
Is, man, is Takagi's head fucking huge.
Oh?
Yeah, no, it's just the proportions they have going on, because you know how kids have much larger heads in comparison to
Are
their
they
bodies?
doing like sort of chibi-ish
Nah,
styles?
not really. She just kind of got a big-ass forehead.
Okay.
Like, if you were to push on her forehead, she would fall over and then bounce back up like one of those clown balloons.
All right, well, I got a real easy thing to tease her about then.
Yeah, no, like, you think that would be the go-to thing all the time, but, nah, kids aren't that clever. So, without further ado, Rem, let's go watch some skillful teaser Takagi-san.
Sounds good.
Gentlemen, we are back after consuming 3 whole episodes of Teasing Master Takagi-san. And Remington, not a whole lot of complicated things to say about the show, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, this one it's going to be a pretty straightforward one, pretty simple.
Like, there's not any really complicated ideals or themes in this show. It's just cute.
Yeah.
Well, that was the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That was nice and easy. Shortest episode yet. Makes up for all of our, like, hour and a half long episodes, I feel.
Yeah, we have to intersperse out the real short ones and the really, really long ones.
Yeah, it's the only way to keep people interested, because if we keep doing super, super long ones, people might not be as interested
They're
in us.
going to get bored. It's too much.
Seriously. But maybe 1 minute is just a bit too short.
All right, I guess we'll explore it a little bit more.
So, Rem, Takagi-san, what did you think of it? It was, honestly, when I first saw it, I just thought it was a really cute, adorable little show, and was very pleasant to watch overall. I didn't really have too many complaints with it. I'm sure you found some, though.
Well, you know, in part 1, I made the comparison before even watching it to Love is War, right? And I said that it sounds a lot like it's just a younger Love is War. And those parallels are totally there. Ultimately, it would be like a combination of Love is War with like Ore Monogatari and then a little bit of like Forest Fairy 5 or Nichijou.
I feel like Nichijou's a more healthy comparison to make.
All of that, I think it's, although that's a very accurate combination, a very accurate recipe for this, all of which is to say it was quite boring.
Oh, I see.
I did not enjoy it.
Oh,
It had
okay.
cute moments, but it was not worth it.
Wow.
Coming from Moe trash like myself does not get a passing grade.
That's impressive. I was wondering what we could possibly talk about for at least 15 minutes, but nah, looks like we've got a nice can of worms to unpack. This is going to be tasty, I can tell. I can't wait to play with you in this space, Rem.
Well, how should we go about exploring this pretty mundane show?
Oh, man. It's a good thing there aren't too many die-hard Takagi-san fans out there, because, ooh, they would be up in arms.
If you like Love is War, you'll love it.
Okay, now that's going a little too far.
They're both the same.
They're not! They're different in execution. Like,
Ish.
okay, Love is War has a lot more absurdist elements to it, whereas, Takagi-san is more childish and a bit more on the slice of life side of things.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, both of them emphasize the relationships, but does not make me give a shit about the relationships.
Oh.
The ultimate summary I would have. So you have these two very young kids, right? And one of them teases the other, but they obviously both like each other, blah, blah, blah. Except my overall summary is fuck them kids, because I don't care about them. But you know...
That's illegal, Remington.
Do not have sex with the kids. Just disregard them. That usage of fuck. But Shaun,
what?
There are good characters in this show.
Let me guess. You like the side characters, don't you?
The side characters are the only good ones. So you have the two main characters, and who gives a single shit about them? They are worthless. They have occasional decent moments, but it is not worth the monotony to get there. Meanwhile, we have been given like 5 minutes total in these 3 episodes of these 3 side characters, all of which are far more interesting, both as individuals and with the relationships with one another. The show should have been about them.
Well, I will tell you this, Rem. There is more of them as the show goes on.
Fuck yeah, just skip everything with the main bits, just get to the bits with them in it, because it's so much more interesting.
Oh, God. I thought this would be a safe show, Rem. I thought that, I'm a little ill. I'm a little under the weather. I'm getting better. But clearly, there is going to be some controversy because it's you. You always find a way to make people upset, and that's very interesting.
Let me issue a correction to your statement. I always find a way to make people who have poor taste upset.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oof. Yikes. Well, I mean, this show wasn't super highly rated, but it was pretty highly rated when it came out.
Oof.
The manga, I've read the whole manga. It's cute. It's adorable. I enjoy it. I think it's better as a manga, personally. I will say that. Just because you can get through everything in about a couple hours, maybe 2 days, and then you have a really cute after story type of thing, because there's nothing new in this show, really. It's just some fun little scenarios with some fun, cute moments.
Except so often they're not even fun. It'll be a charming idea that lasts too long, and then nothing happens, which would be fine if you had like a strong bond, but at the same time, the two main characters have a single quality each, and neither of them are interesting. One likes to tease. One gets teased. That's it.
Well, you're not too wrong, honestly. That was about how I felt when I saw this show myself.
And we're told, well, we're sort of shown that they like each other and are embarrassed about it, blah, 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 whatever. But there's no like warmth between them besides this tsundere bullshit warmth. For example, in one of the vignettes that we see, because it is a show that's just a series of different vignettes, different almost sketches, almost.
Which is why it definitely works way better in the manga, I will say that.
Oh, yeah. In one of them, you have our main little boy, who knows what his name is? Nishikata. And he has classroom duties in the morning. So he has to go, make sure everything is clean, organized, clean up the blackboard, etc., right? But he gets teased and pranked by the girl Takagi, and it makes him super paranoid and fucks him up, and he ends up not even doing it. A simple fix for this that I think would emphasize what I mean is, imagine if she teased him mercilessly, but then at the very end of this little vignette, when he's like, oh no, I didn't even do any of the duties I was supposed to do, she's already done them for him. So she still teases him mercilessly and stresses him out, and he goes through this panic and this paranoia and this crisis. But at the same time, even though she's doing all that to him, she still helps him out, like a friend would. Then we see that there's genuine warmth. We see that even though there's a lot of teasing going on, it's not just filled with malice. Right now, she's a bit of a sociopath, but it's not presented as if she is. It's presented like, oh, what a cute little girl. But no, she's just a sociopath who doesn't give a damn.
Really, Remington, aren't you just describing yourself?
I would not be a good anime character, especially at 6 years old or whatever age they are, like 10?
They're about 12, I believe.
Oh, okay. Regardless, it just would not work because there's just no reason. I don't feel warmth between them, especially on her end. She just likes to tease, and that's her only quality. There's nothing more at all. She likes to tease, and she's a bit of a tsundere, and that's it. And she has a charming character design. It looks like they could do more with it, but then they just don't. They make her too perfect, and that's real irritating. And which made the show was so predictable. Just like Love is War, I could see all of the beats, and any surprise was forced without any sort of justification.
Oh, God. I did not think you were going to go this deep into it, Rem. This was just supposed to be a nice and easy, cute little thing to help me get through my illness, but no.
I'm always full of surprises, Shaun.
Unlike this show, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
And I will say this, as I've read the whole manga, there is genuine character growth and warmth between the two of them, but in the first 3 episodes of the anime, there really isn't, is there?
No, and there were some decent moments. I'm reminded of the Love is War episode when I said there were some decent moments, especially when they stopped focusing on the premise. Similarly, when they stopped focusing on the premise of here's a way that they were teased, it can actually be sort of decent. For example, one of the only scenes I thought was actually pretty good was the stereotypical umbrella scene. They have an umbrella scene like all romantic shows have an umbrella scene. It's the exact same umbrella scene, but it was decent because it seemed like they cared. They were vulnerable for a moment, and that was nice to see. But we so rarely get to see any of that vulnerability, and I'm not saying they need to pour their hearts out open all the time, but right now you have one character that exists to be perfect and make no mistakes, and another character that exists to make all of the mistakes, and that is it.
Wow.
But the 3 side characters, Shaun.
Well, we'll talk about them in a minute, Rem. I will also say, as the show progresses, yeah, you get more of those moments that you like, because that umbrella scene was near the end of the 3rd episode, if I recall correctly. And that's when things really started to kind of go away from the premise alone and more towards just like these silly interactions between them.
Which is very similar to my thoughts on Love is War. It started to diverge from the premise, and even though the premise was the only initially interesting thing about it, it ended up weighing it down significantly, and it was only in those latter moments, the brief glimpses that I was able to see towards the end of my watching of it, that it seemed to have potential. Very similar here. There are glimpses of potential, but so far, it has not been properly lived. Unfortunately, you don't even get like a chica. You get your 3 side characters, and that's it.
Only about 5 minutes of them, though, in the first 3 episodes.
Which is so unfortunate. You get such short vignettes of them. They should be the main characters. If you gave me a story about the 3 side characters, it would be so much better, because all of them have distinct personalities. They all are much more fleshed out than the main characters, despite having way less screen time, and they're all way more enjoyable and interesting.
So what you're saying is you just want to go watch Nichijou again?
Yes!
I might be able to do that for you, bud. But yeah, no, this is one of the rare times I'm kind of with you 100%, Rem. The only thing I will say is that my biases are because I've, one, finished the series, and not just the anime, of course, the manga, and I've read the After Story manga as well, and I think it's fun and enjoyable and cute, but you're right, it takes way too goddamn long to get to those points, and the only, like, reprieve from that length of time are our 3 side characters, which, hilariously, have not had any interactions with the main characters at all.
No, like, they've been in the background a couple times, but that's about it for their interactions with the main character. They're just way more interesting, and like you said, there have been some good moments, and I'm sure there are going to be better moments as it goes along.
But you think by 3 episodes you should have enough to keep you interested and keeping going, right?
Yeah, the good moments aren't good enough for all of the filler and the meaningless bullshit that you have to wait through. It's too boring that by the time you get to the good moments, you just care less, which is unfortunate because there are some decent moments, but there are other shows with just as good, if not better moments that don't make you wait in tedium for that long.
Would you like to hear a confession from me, Rem?
I would, very much so.
I dropped it after the 3rd episode initially. And I just read the manga instead.
Yep.
Much better experience, honestly, because I got all of that stuff really quickly.
Yeah.
The pacing in this show is not great. I still like the show, don't get me wrong, but that's just because I have that experience with the whole thing, and that's an inherent bias that you're going to get with a show that is okay. You're still going to like the show, but only because you've, spent the time with it, and the time I spent with it was way, way, way less than if I had watched the whole series the first time through. Like, this show actually came out around the same time as Love is War, and Love is War captured me immediately and throughout the entire series, whereas this one, like I said, I dropped it pretty quick and then immediately jumped into the manga because I knew it was a short manga and I could finish it in a day. So I did, and I enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, and I think that ultimately, if you think that this is something you would definitely be interested in, if you loved Love is War and you like some more casual, simpler, lighter themes and ideas, and you think that it would just be a great time, then sure, feel free to check it out. But if you're on the fence, then there is no urgency to go and check it out. It should not be a priority because frankly, it doesn't warrant that. Maybe it's something nice to put on in the background as you're working on other things. However, it's probably not going to be one that you sit down and spend a day binging. It's just not worth it.
The manga, though, you can sit and binge that. I 100% can confirm on that. Because it's like when you sit down and you think to yourself, man, this would be great if I could just get all of it at once.
Yep.
And binging the manga in the span of a couple hours does that for you. So it's like a cuteness bomb as opposed to a cuteness slow, painful stab into your abdomen.
Yeah. Like, and once again, it's pretty cute. It's just unfortunate that it's like a homeopathic cute, where there's definitely genuine cuteness in there, but it has been diluted to a significant degree.
And you have to pay extra to get the really good stuff.
Yeah.
Much like homeopathy. Don't do homeopathy. It's the stupidest thing on the face of the planet. I don't get why people come up with these things and people buy these things. My God, it's dumb.
Take it from two anime reviewers in a bad podcast. Science is good, kids.
Yeah, and while we're at it, go get some vaccines.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Also, just for anyone out there, Earth is round.
Yeah, just in case you're wondering, essential oils don't do much.
Yeah, they smell nice.
They're very nice smelling. Too expensive, though.
Yeah, real expensive for what they are. There are things that smell just as good, much cheaper, and do the exact same, namely, smell good.
doTERRA can eat a dick.
There goes our MLM sponsorships. No one's going to be reaching out to us and being like, hey, if you guys want to be a partner with us, then you can get partners under you and you already have a platform. It's great.
And then we get a little bit of our partners go up to them because, that way our partnerships can just grow as a whole. This is some baby bag bullshit is what it is.
It's a great system. It's just, it evokes some Egyptian architecture. It's real classical like that.
Yeah, I too like the obelisks games. That's my deep Egyptian architecture cut for you. Hope you like it. I could have gone for the obvious, but nah.
Oh. Yeah, so moral of the story, it's fine, a bit bland. If you think you'd love it, then feel free. If you haven't decided you're all in, then there are other things out there.
Just watch a compilation of Mina, Sanae, and Yukari.
Are those the three side characters?
They are.
Oh, they're so much better. Oh my God.
Or just go watch Nichijou.
Yeah, like truly.
Again, it's a watered down Nichijou, but it's still the cute girls interacting in a comedic fashion in silly, absurd scenarios, but again, very watered down.
The best scene, in my mind, of everything we've seen so far, and the most entertaining, was probably with the three side characters, and they were dubbing over two cats that were hanging around. I found that to be very charming. They were just creating a story of these two cats just hanging around, meowing at each other.
And one of them just was not having it.
Yeah, it was great, because that seems very human and very cute and a simple but interesting thing. And you don't get any of that with the main characters. You just get it with the good side characters, which do not have nearly enough screen time to warrant watching the show. Watch a compilation of them and they're good. That's it. Don't worry about the rest.
I'm in agreement with you for once, Remington, and I feel like that's nice.
Yeah.
I have to play the bad guy so much, well, from your perspective at least. Other people think you're the bad guy, Rem. This might come as a shock.
Most people probably think I'm the bad guy.
But even on shows that I don't like, I still have to defend to an extent. But this is one of those shows where it's like, it's aight.
Yeah, it's not like offensively bad. It's just meh.
Yeah, it's okay. I rarely make manga recommendations, but if you have any interest in this show at all, just read that instead, because you're not getting much from the anime. Although, hilariously, it did get a 7.9 on Mal.
That is way too high.
I would agree. It's probably one of the weakest shows from one of the best years in anime history, because 2018 was such a good year.
Oh, yeah.
But considering that this is on the weak side of things, that kind of says a lot about how good 2018 was, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, there's a lot of room to get worse.
Exactly, and get worse it shall, Remington.
Oh, no.
But until then, I guess the only thing I have to ask you is, you want to go watch some more skillful teaser Takagi-san with me?
Maybe just a highlight reel.
I think I can manage that. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed our mutual agreement on something for once in our goddamn lives, then please leave a review on whatever platform you listen on, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, really. It may seem like a hassle and a big deal, but really it helps us quite a bit.
And if you would like to contact us directly, whether it is for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, then you can either tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter, or send an email over on to animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, don't fuck your sister. That was a little more sensual than I meant it to be. That's fine.